Hello. Very good afternoon to one and all. Am I audible? It's a very difficult task for me now to make you motivate, to make you learn, to pay attention. So many tasks. And that too, each task is very complex. But I will try my best. And that's why, first of all, I would like to wish you all the Happy New Year. Hope everyone would like to be happy in this year. And naturally, for becoming a happy, you might have thought or planned some activity at the midnight of the 31st of December. Am I right? And that task or that determination might have been continued for next 4 to 5 days. Isn't it? Or it is false. If it is false, I'll be very happy. If it is not, then the matter for retrospection left. If it is not, it means that whenever we plan something, unless, because see, whenever many people have given you the wishes, Happy New Year, under the assumption and the presumption that your next year will become happy, subjected, whatever you are planned for that midnight will go through without any interruption. Will go through without any interruption. The moment that cycle breaks, what happens? Naturally, that particular plan will not be implemented. Do you agree? When it is not implemented, naturally, all the wishes, all the efforts taken by all your friends, relatives, and near and dear one goes west. Same logic apply here. Your curriculum can be very fantastic, very wonderful, artistically designed, having all the domains incorporated, cognitive, psychomotor, affective. In short, there is a well blend of all the three domains, that is a CAP. CAP means what? Cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domain. So if all these three domains have been placed in a proper mix or proportionate mix, naturally your curriculum is going to be richer and richer. And this particular curriculum, if it is rich and if it is not implemented well, what will happen? The end user will suffer. And end user is nothing but our student. And what for we are? For the student. What for we get salary? For student. What for NEP is there? For student. Because the fundamental and foremost principle of NEP is that it is a student-centric activity. It is a student-centric activity. And therefore, unless your curriculum is focused towards the student, unless there is a very less control on the part of the lecturer or the instructor or whatever you name you give it to yourself, there are a number of names given to yourself. Yourself means as a role of a teacher. That we'll see in the due course of time when we'll study the presentation. That role will not be fulfilled. And therefore, irrespective of the wonderful curriculum, the curriculum will not, if it is not implemented well, naturally, the whole purpose for which it has been intended to design the curricula goes to the waste or goes to the null and void. And therefore, this implementation part is very, very important for any curriculum as and when there is a revision of the curriculum. And you know, there is a vision, mission. Already Dr. Kedar has already given you so many examples, isn't it? What for you people are here? You people are here so that whatever the curriculum philosophy is being implemented or is being taught by the MSBT and the NITR jointly. आवाज ओके आता येतोय माझा आवाज तसाही मोठा आहे पण का नाही येत होता माहिती नाही एनिवे सो व्हॉट एव्हर द फिलॉसॉफी which was designed by the NITR and the MSBT, perhaps that might not have been extended to the end user and through you people. You understand what I mean to say? I mean to say that whenever you are deriving a vision, mission and other statement, it is the responsibility of the institute to share that vision to each one of the faculty and each one of your organization. And that is what being scrupulously observed in the NBA requirement. I don't know whether you know this fact or not. And similarly over here also, you are the ambassador of implementing the curriculum in the Maharashtra state, and therefore you are invited over here to know how about the philosophy, NCRF qualification, then academic bank of credit, and the 3-axis diagram and whatnot. And then based on these two sessions, now the third session is that how we are going to be implement that particular K scheme. G, then I, and now K. So whatever the philosophy that we are going to adopt, unless you adopt it and adapt with that, both the words are different, adopt and adapt. So probably the results cannot be seen. Probably the results cannot be seen. And therefore, our efforts is that to make you aware about the philosophy of implementing the K scheme curriculum. And that is why, remember here, the curriculum or the product, the end product will become a very perfect only when the curriculum for the intention for which it is designed is implemented in a proper spirit. My every word is very crucial, in very spirit. Otherwise, it is not going to create a impact on the audience, on the all stakeholders, And with that point of view, with your permission, I would like to start my presentation. Shall I? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank God. Okay. So, implementation of K scheme curriculum by NITR as well as the MSBT, both. The very first slide, implementation of curriculum, outcome-based curriculum implementation involves the actually delivery of planned curriculum. What does it mean? What is the structure you have already designed, maybe first semester and the second semester? I hope you might be aware about the format, the legend behind that. As sir has already pointed out, the course basket, DSC, DSE, then AEC, VEC, SEC, and all other norms. That is what is expected, that outcome-based curriculum implementation involves the actually delivery of that structure. What is that structure? That structure is nothing but the perfect combination of the achievement of CO and laboratory outcome to attain the final PO, which will assist in achieving the final PO. Okay? So therefore, look at here, that unless until your scheme is robust and rational, that particular scheme is not going to be show any marginal effect or the impact on the stakeholders of our diploma people, our diploma holder. And therefore, it is the second statement as mentioned. It is a stage where the curriculum is put into action in the classroom and educational setting. Educational setting means it includes everything. It includes classroom teaching, it includes laboratory teaching, it includes field teaching, it includes, actually teaching is a very vague word. It should not be used, but now as it is being continuously coming from our ancestor, we are miserably following it. And therefore, actually it is a facilitating. The teacher's role is more on the facilitation. And that is why I always ask one question, are you all teacher? Everyone say that yes, I am a teacher. The moment you say that you are a teacher, then there is a big dilemma in my mind. Because every teacher's first and fundamental role is that it should be a facilitator of learning. Facilitator of learning. What does the facilitator do? Facilitator doesn't do anything except to enhance the rate of learning amongst the learner without the active participation in the learning. No doubt active means he has to make you learn, so that automatically coming under that particular parameter, but still the more focus should be on the self-learning. The more focus should be on the self-learning, so that you have to create a situation in which the student's curiosity must be satisfied in all respect. Must be satisfied in all respect. And therefore, we are going to see an overview of the key mechanism and the consideration in curriculum implementation. See here, this particular is the key scheme curriculum search. This is your website on the MSBTE part, and this page is taken from that particular course. This is a total scheme. This is a total scheme. If you see here carefully, scheme print. Can you see here? Yeah. See here. So this is a course title, then abbreviations for that particular course type, that is DSC, DSC and something like that, course code, then total IKS, as Professor Jadhav has just few minutes back, he has shown this particular slide. Then learning schemes, that is actual contact hours, CL, classroom learning, tutorial learning and laboratory learning, self-learning activity, notional learning live hours, credits and all other things. I'm not going in a detail of this one. I'm not going in a detail of this particular scheme. Let us move further. Let us move further. Teachers training and capacity building. As everyone knows that in order to have or in order to ensure the positive impact on the learning society, the teachers must be trained. The teachers must be trained in implementing the right spirit of the curricula. And therefore, every teacher is required to undergo certain trainings. This is also one of the sort of the overview training. Overview training. What is training? Training is nothing but it is the set of knowledge, skill and attitude which enables the learner to have or to demonstrate the small delta in a positive side in his behavior. In his behavior. The same logic over here is, therefore, the orientation programs were planned for you people. This is one of the orientation program. See, the name itself is given. I don't know whether, yeah. Capacity Building Faculty Orientation Workshop. Capacity Building Faculty Orientation Workshop. So, as the name itself indicates, the orientation must be given to each and every teacher that what exactly we have thought, what exactly the principles from the NEP has been taken, how well we are going to cope up with those particular principles in our curricula so as to match the industry-oriented outcome. Industry-oriented outcome. In other words, some people call it as a competency as well. So that is what is being there to familiarize the teachers with the curriculum philosophy, objectives, and the structure. First two sessions were well elaborative, no doubt, needless to say that they have given the enough focus on the philosophy, objective, and the structure. I hope there is no difficulty, there should not be any difficulty in this first three sessions, or first three parameters. Then training workshop provide ongoing training workshop to equip the teachers with necessary instructional strategy, assessment technique, and classroom management skill. Yes, all teachers are having the same qualification, same set of degrees, but the teaching varies. Some of the teachers are very good, well admired and revered among the society. Some of them are not. What does it make? Where does this difference comes? The difference comes over here that how well he is implementing the instructional strategies, how well he is incorporating the assessment techniques, and to what extent he is able to manage the classroom. And to what extent he is able to manage the classroom. It solely depends on the gamut of all these three parameters. It solely depends on the gamut of all these three parameters. And therefore, these three parameters, if you are, or if you means any teacher is successful in doing so, the curriculum is well implemented. The curriculum is well implemented. Look at this. The resource provision. Now, you will say that, just imagine that today you have been called here and some MSBTE would have told you that you eat yourself at anywhere. What will happen? It will create a chaos. All resources need to be provided to the teacher. In laboratory, if it is no equipment is provided, how you can do the performance of the, or measure the performance of the student? So the equipments are required, then all settings are required, educational settings are required, softwares are required, all resources are required. All resources are very well essential, and that is what is being mentioned here, that ensures that the teacher should have the access to all necessary teaching material, textbook, and equipment specific in the curriculum. Teaching material, it means that the textbook, for that the library is there, equipment specified, for that the laboratories are there, and all your cognitive part will be taken from the textbook, and that is to be implemented in the classroom. Digital technology. Yes, today is the era of the technology, and we must think that it allocated resources for integrating the technology, if applicable, to enhance the learning experience. Somehow, what is the sole aim of the curriculum is that the learning should happen among the learner by some of the other way. By some of the other way, learning must be inculcated among the learner. For that, you may take offline mode, you may take online mode, you may take blended mode, you may take flip mode. The choice depends solely upon the teacher. Because teacher is wise enough to understand and to know which instructional strategy will be more impactful, more resourceful, or more gainful for the teacher, for the students. And accordingly, he has to plan all his various resources. What are those resources? That also we'll see in the due course of time. Those resources need to be planned in the sequential manner, so that automatically your curriculum will get unfold through sequential manner. Unfold in a sequential manner. Now see, if the whole curriculum of maybe 40 weeks, 60 weeks, whatever it may be, if it is not completed within the time, what will happen? Because your MSBTE I have observed, they are so heavily loaded, the moment your examination has finished, within 1 month they are putting their results. And by the end your results are on, by the next day their second session start, second semester started. Second means next semester. So how, horribly they are loaded, as well as the educational processes are complex. And then therefore the time management is a very crucial factor in making this curriculum implemented within the specified period which you have already taken care through the planning in the curriculum structure. For every course you are given some credits. For that credits you are already given some TLO, some LLO, and some this one. So within that framework, you have to ensure that that particular portion must be completed, And therefore it is mentioned that the course planning, preparation of course plan as per the format provided to help the teachers pace their instruction throughout the semester. Now, what is course plan? Course plan is nothing but a very valid and effective tool at the disposal of the teacher, who, if he planned that particular course plan and implement it in the class, naturally he is aware that each and every aspect of the curriculum which is mentioned in the curriculum is being delivered to the student. सर ने सवेरे एग्जाम्पल दिया था कि टू कम्युनिकेट वेल, है ना? सो हाउ कैन वी असेस दैट वेदर ही हैज अचीव्ड दैट कॉम्पिटेंसी और नॉट? Not only by he can write well, he can mention well, he can spell well or something like that. No. If he is effectively in a position to transfer the message, intended message to the next person. See here, intended message. So similarly over here, for the teacher, the course plan is need to be intimated and informed to the learner. Any difficulty so far? Okay. Learning teaching process, which is a very coherent and very important activity of any teachers and any learner. OBE is focused on the student-centric learning, so teachers might have less direct control over the what and how students learn. What does it mean? OBE, as the name itself indicates, outcome-based education, should have one of the integral characteristics that the teacher should have the less control on it. What does it mean? The student should be given the more and more opportunity to learn at his own pace. Pace means speed. At his own space. By allowing and accommodating all his difficulties. Second thing is that the course outcome must be explained to them so that they will come to know what they have to achieve. And therefore, sir ने भी आपको सवेरे बोला था कि there is a first competency, that is the industrial expected outcome, which is followed by 5 to 6 CO, course object outcome. And then that CO, for every CO, there are almost 5 to 6 TLO. Corresponding to those TLO, there is a relevant content, and then there is a laboratory. If it is the laboratory is mentioned in that particular course, then there are equally LLOs are also important for that. The whole mix of all these things give rise to the students so that they should briefed what are these particular content and how they are going to benefit from delivering this type of content in the classroom. Then students are encouraged to think more about the learning on their own. The teacher has the role of facilitator of learning by engaging them with content and activities specified in the curriculum. What does it mean? Already is self-explanatory statement. The curriculum is already designed. All activities are given, micro projects, small projects, or assignments, or some self-learning activity. All these activities are being given in the curriculum. So if those particular activities are, teachers is in a position to facilitate them, that is what is expected in this particular role. Implementation of curriculum again, the important steps to be followed for teaching and learning under the outcome based are as under. First of all, sequencing of TLO. What does it mean, TLO? Theory, learning, outcome. How we are going to design this TLO? Identify the theory learning outcome, lab learning outcome for the implementation. How you are going to do this? Are you going to choose the last chapter first and the first chapter last? No. And therefore there are certain guidelines given to this one, that whenever you are doing the syllabus or the curriculum, designing the curriculum, always go from simple to complex or simple to hard. Then again from concrete to abstract, known to unknown, and therefore accordingly plan your sequence or plan your content in a logical and sequential way, which will lead towards achievement of the CO for which you are designing this TLO. Next, Once it is this one is there, then design of the content, sequencing of content. Organize the curriculum content in a way that allows for the sequential attainment of learning objective. Then pedagogies. Once you know the content and the TLO, then for that you have to finalize the pedagogy. Pedagogy means the instructional method. There are n number of methods. There are n number of methods that supports the outcome and engage the students in the active learning. Learning should not never be passive. It should be always active. And therefore we say that the students are required to be engaged in the learning. And for that, number of methods, teaching methods are available that we'll see in due course of time. But all these specific methods are to be used for the specific purposes. Now, where to use which method? It is the sole discretion of the teacher. It is the sole discretion of the teacher. Because teacher is supposed to know what are the better context and the situation in which a particular method is to be used. Now see here, these are the number of methods, few of the methods. This is not the whole Bible, but some of the methods are put before you. Problem-based learning, flipped classroom, cooperative learning, project-based learning, improved lectures, discussion, group work, case studies, project, experiential learning, and so on. Now, look on the left side that flexible pedagogy and instructional strategies, the diverse teaching method, utilize a variety of pedagogical strategies and the teaching method, which are the blend of all these things. Do you have the idea about all these things? Need any specific explanation? Problem-based learning, again this is the group work. A problem is being given either in the individual level or in the group level, and that is required to be solved. Flipped classroom, already Dr. Kedar has taken care of that particular class, flipped classroom. Cooperative learning, yes. बताया ना आपने थोड़ा सा बताया आपने. Any idea about the flipped classroom? बोलिए सर. बोलिए मैडम बोलिए. एक मिनट आ रहे
Flipped classroom learning means content is already provided by the teacher without students knowing the desirable outcome to be achieved. And then in the classroom, discussion goes on the same, and accordingly teacher puts in the important concepts teacher wanted to teach about the particular subject.
Yes. What happened? See, in the classroom, what we are doing, we are implementing the curriculum, means we are teaching the content. At the same time, if there are any doubts in the minds of the learner, that also we are taking care simultaneously. And that creates or that takes or that kills the time. And therefore, in order to ensure to get some more breathing time for the teachers, sometimes the teacher adopts a strategy in which he design his lecture through the online method, or he video shoot his lecture through online method, and then made it available to the learner, and ask them to go through that, and if there are any doubts and the questions, that can be dealt in that particular classroom. In short, the role is being slightly changed in this one. So that type of things are nothing but a flipped classroom. Okay? So next is the project-based learning. Project is what? It is nothing but any activity having a specific start and a specific end. So naturally, any project, either it can be, depending upon the extent and the type of the activity, can be given at the individual level or as well in the group level. We are always under impression that project is always to be given in the group. But some of the project activities are there that can be given at the individual level as well. Next is the improved lecture. Normally what we do, we are doing the lecture method, that is the black and board, then chalk and board, and without being understood whether the learners are understanding that or not. And therefore, in between, there is some technique is used that is called as the question and answer. Like this, during my discussion, I ask you, is there any difficulty so far? So if there are some queries that can be well taken care by asking some questions that will activate the stimulus of the learner. And by virtue of that, his all curiosity will get ratified. His all curiosity will get ratified. And that is what is the lecture method. So, improved lecture method. Improved lecture method is nothing but simply the lecture method plus question and answer. Plus question and answer. Then discussion. Group discussions are there. Again, there are certain rules of the group discussion. You can go through any internet exercise and they will come to know about the rules of the discussion. Group work, case studies. Yes, case study is a very effective way of making the learners learn about a particular concept. The only thing is that it requires a typical technique at the end of the teacher, that how significantly well he is designing the case. How significantly well he can design a case. Because designing the case in a, management topic or a general topic will be somewhat simple, but in engineering domain, to design it, it is bit tricky and bit difficult. So, but this is the most effective way of learning the things. Project and experiential learning is we have already discussed, and you know all about this particular aspect. Okay. Then assessment and evaluation. Some part has already been touched by Dr. Kedar, measurement, evaluation and the assessment, but still we will have some focus on that particular thing. That align assessment, that design assessment that directly align with the defined learning outcome in both COs and TLOs and LLOs. Means whatever the performance of the student, unless it is observable and measurable, we cannot assess that particular learning. Do you agree with me? It has to be observable and measurable. Then only we can assess it. And based on the assessment is what? Finding something worth out of it. Whatever the student has given to you, maybe in the form of the answer sheet or something like that, you are finding how much worth he has written in that particular answer sheet. And based on your own wisdom and the knowledge, you are finally deciding to what percentage he has appropriately put up the content or solve the questions. And based on that, you are giving some qualitative aspect. 100 marks, out of that 50 marks or something like that, 10 marks and something like that. And finally the evaluation comes. That is nothing but the judgmental process. Judgmental process means, sir, as already told, pass, fail, distinction, second class, and so on. It is the sole responsibility of the competent authority to declare whether the student is pass or fail, or distinction, first class, and so on. Another aspect of the assessment is very important, very, very important. No learning is possible without the assessment. There are two types of assessment. That is what is mentioned there. The formative assessment and the summative assessment. The formative assessment is ongoing assessment during the learning process. Means as and when the students are in the class and you are asking some questions, by virtue asking of some questions, they are giving some answers to them through their discussion, through their interaction, through their face. You are in a position to know whether that student has learned it or not. Similarly, the same logic applies in the laboratory. In laboratory also, some of the students, they make their own experimental setup. They do participate positively, and they'll accordingly they learn the various attributes for which that particular laboratory experiment or experience has been designed. Second is the summative assessment. Summative assessment is nothing but at the end of the semester. It is called as the pen and paper test. This is one aspect. Second aspect, in the laboratory, at the end of the final examination in laboratory also, similar logic applies for the project and other aspect. So summative is at the end of the program. Formative is during the program. And during the program, at what frequency? No frequency. It is a continuous assessment. And based on that continuous assessment, you are required to assess the student. Assess means you have to find out to what worth he is. To what worth he is. And third, all these things will become null and void unless there is a proper mechanism of the feedback. In short, we are moving towards the system model that the input process and the output, unless it is well connected by the feedback, which is the feedback must be constructive and timely to give the guidance to the student in their learning journey. Needless to say that the feedback is equally applicable to the teachers as well, and therefore accordingly we can plan, we can deviate, we can change our instructional strategies also. Next is the direct assessment. Perhaps those who are having the NBA in your polytechnic, they might be having this particular knowledge about the direct assessment and the indirect assessment. So direct assessment there are certain methods. For indirect assessment, there are certain methods. For direct assessment, there are certain percentage. For indirect measurement also, there are certain assessment for there are certain percentage. Now, what are those percentage and what are their method? That is just put before you. Look at this. That theory, that is the end semester examination, ESE, then progressive assessment, PA, consists of the progressive assessment test and micro project. Laboratory practical, that is the end semester examination again, and the progressive assessment, that is the experiment, each experiment, assignment, sheet, lab, job and project, etc. at within that particular period of a day. So it is a continuous assessment. So this is all about the laboratory and the theory. Now there are different tools for assessing the TLOs that test question in the form of a RUA. In the structure, curriculum structure, you have mentioned one specification table. I hope you are aware of it. And there are 3 levels. For each CO, you are mentioning 3 levels, R, U and A. R, U, A and A nothing but remember, understanding and application and above. So the same logic over here, that you have to design the question at a respective level. If you are interested in asking or designing the question at application level, and by some or the other way you are designing the question at understand level, perhaps that will create a chaos. And therefore, the teacher must be very crucial in designing, first of all, in fixing the level at which he is interested to ask the question, and thereupon, by freezing the content or the statement of the question, which will ultimately pose the same intended query or intended question in the minds of the learner. For that, there should be only one answer. There should not be any. Okay. Thanks. Sorry to disturb you. Matulkar sir wants to give the vote of thanks first because he has to go somewhere else. So I'll give the mic to him.
ठीक आहे. केदार सरांना अचानक जावं लागतं, त्यांची फ्लाईट आहे. ॲक्च्युली केदार सर आज शक्यता कमी होती यायची, पण ते आपल्यासाठी आलेत आणि त्यांचं बहुमूल्य मार्गदर्शन आपल्याला लाभलेलं आहे. त्याच्यामुळं खूप खूप धन्यवाद सर आणि थँक्यू सो मच. आणि फोटोकडे ठीक आहे. MSBT आणि RBTकडून खूप खूप धन्यवाद आणि ह्यापुढे तुमचं सहकार्य राहील अशी अपेक्षा व्यक्त करतो. चालेल, थँक्यू सर.
थँक्यू व्हेरी मच. मी तुमच्या सगळ्यांसोबत राहू इच्छित होतो, पण कालपासून मी आहे पुण्याला आणि नंतर आता इथे, आणि माझी फ्लाईट आहे, त्यामुळे आय हॅव टू गो. आय होप यू मस्ट हॅव गॉट गुड इनपुट फ्रॉम अस. and hope we will be working together in development as well as implementation of curriculum in future. Thank you very much.
केदार सर सगळ्या पार्टिसिपंट्सच्या बरोबर बोलू. अच्छा आमच्या दोघांनी
काय ठेवून द्या नाही खाली.
Sorry. Well, let us come back again to our own slide. That direct assessment tool, this is called as test the question at RUA. That is the remember, understand, and the application and above level. So it is a very crucial type of designing the question at the level at which it is intended to ask, as I already told. Second one is the micro projects that involve the problem analysis. Micro projects that involve the problem analysis. Third one is the rubrics. Rubrics is very effective tool of assessing the performance of the student for the specific engineering problem and the task. ऐसा नहीं कि rubrics can be used for everything, but rubrics can be used for a specific purposes and majority of the engineering task. Seminar / quizzes. Then project and the design projects in the various courses. Project and the design projects in the various courses. Every courses are having some of the are project and some of the are the design project. In civil industry, the whole building design is a project. Similarly, in the mechanical also, the similar type of maybe the design may be there. Next is the direct assessment tool is continuing. Lab reports in engineering courses using rubrics. In all the lab reports, whatever the students are writing, they are also in the form of a assessment tool. Lab and field tools assessed by the faculty and the industry expert. What are the equipments are there in the laboratory, to what extent the students are using it, how well they are conversant with the activity of those particular equipment. All these things will also give the assessment of the learning. Then assignment of the specific analysis problem. Then assignment that include the analysis software, CAD programs, etc. Project and design projects in the various projects. I think that is what is there. Projects that assess the student ability to appropriately apply the tools. Now, another important aspect over here, that attainment of CO. What is the COPO mapping you have already done in the structure? It is to be checked to what extent the CO, that is the course outcome, are attained. And therefore, accordingly, that particular formula is to be used, or the equation is to be used. The direct attainment of the CO, you'll see that 80% can be determined from the performance of the student in all the relevant assessment instrument through progressive assessment of theory, progressive test, micro projects, end semester examination of theory, progressive assessment of practical, and end semester examination. So all these things are through the 80% of assessment. Remaining 20% is through the indirect method, that is can be determined from the course exit survey. Course exit survey. And both the things put together gives the 100% assessment. Gives the 100% assessment. Now see here, as I already told, the course plan is a very effective tool of implementing the course curricula. And therefore we are going to see now what are the contents and the constituent parts of the course plan. Let us see one by one. See here, the process of preparing the course plan. The first of all, the very first step is that enlist the course outcome. Enlist the course outcome. Then select the TLOs and analyze the aligned content. What does it mean? Select the TLOs and analyze the aligned content. It is there in the curriculum structure. You have finalized the TLO, and corresponding to that TLO, you have designed some content. Am I right or not? That is the second step. Third one, identify the learning resources and the learning methodology. Design the design pedagogies. That is what is the learning resources, what is required, chalk and board, software, then LCD projector or any equipment, models, charts, whatnot. All these things will come under the resources. Pedagogies are the design strategies for implementing of that particular content. It may be lecture method, lecture with the media, lecture with media, improved lecture, bus session, seminar method, case study method, so many methods. Any one method you have to use in that particular contest. Okay. Next step is that development of assessment scheme. Yes, as already we have seen that no learning is possible without the assessment, and therefore all the development of the assessment scheme is a very important part to what should be the assessed and to what extent it is to be assessed. This is to be fixed first. Decide the assessment process, and next is the implement course plan, evaluate and the impact of the course plan. Evaluate the impact of the course plan, and last but not least, take the corrective action through the feedback mechanism for improving the performance in the next cycle. The moment you implement any delivery, immediately you come to know whether it is successful or not. If it is yes, no problem. If it is not, find out what are the variations and the deviations where the things were wrong, and accordingly try to correct them in the next cycle or in the next delivery. Next is the variety of learning events. See here, create interest. What does it mean? Very first thing is that unless the interest is being created among the learner, he is not being motivated to learn that particular concept. There is a law of learning that learning is only possible only when learners are ready to learn. Learners are ready to learn only when they are having the interest in learning. They find the interest only when there is a the strategy designed by the teacher which will enable them to learn something good, which will help them in the due course of time to create some good impact on their career. Involve the student in learning, second stage. Third one is the design the actual activities. Whether in one particular lecture, whether you will be taking only assignment or figure, drawing the figure and explaining that figure or whatnot. So you have to finalize various activities that can be implemented simultaneously in a class. And those particular activities are to be put in that particular thing, designing the actual activities. Finally, assessing the learning outcome. In that lecture itself. By asking the question and answer, by making the people to come forward and to give some answers to that particular question and so on. Guide and feedback for the students of the critical learning points. So you have to help the student to assess, to get rid of his difficulties, to get rid of his doubts. And that is what is being mentioned in this particular diagram. See here, how the learning environment should be there. It should be positive, it should be encouraging, it should be competitive, and it should be challenging. These are all four attributes which are the inherent characteristics of the learning environment. And this solely depends upon the teacher. It is the teacher has to create this learning environment. So he has to create an environment in which all these four aspects are present. All these four aspects are present. Then teacher's role in the different learning situation. Teacher's role in different learning situation. That first role, as I already told, that is the facilitator. It means that he has to actually see that the students are engaged and learning at their own, and there is a very less control on the part of the teacher. Second one is the moderator. Already you are familiar, you are doing all this moderation of your examination and the paper setting. Critics. Critic means, critic is always not to be seen in an ill way, it is to be seen in a positive way as well. So that critics, facilitator is repeated over there. Demonstrator, mentor, then connector, theorizer, then sharer. Sharer means he has to share the information. Teacher has to give. Teacher is to always supposed to give whatever he has. Whatever he has. Next is the teacher's role in the different learning situation. He is also having the role of a learner as well. Because learning is an unended process. Learning is an unended process. Second one is the collector. He has to collect the various responses, collect the information, collect the various aspects, and based on that, he has to analyze them and design his strategy of delivering the particular session. Curator. Then alchemist. Alchemist means to create a very wonderful things from nothing. Metal है तो सोना बनाओ, ऐसा है. So teacher has that role. Teacher has that capacity that he can make the student to the infinite capacity by which he can, deliver the good things to the society. He can deliver the very good things to the society. Then programmer, salesperson, convener, coordinator, designer, coach, agitator. I need not explain all these things, but if you any doubts, you can ask me. Any doubts so far? Okay. Now see here the course. Yes, ma'am. So,
we have to take exit survey for indirect assessment. So actually there is no exact format. Everybody is having
judgment. It is a discretion of student.
Yeah. So can you give some idea what is exactly what should be added or what should be implemented for getting the exit survey points?
Exit survey means, whatever the students are after passing, they are going to the industry, and to what percentage they are fulfilling their role in the industry. So we have to take the feedback from industry as well, from student as an alumni itself. You have to do the tracer study, and there are various questionnaire design for this particular thing. Based on that, we have to get the input, analyze it, and do the needful. So this is what is the process to be adopted in that. It is in more detail. We can have some more session on this one. But yes, this is in short, the exit survey and this one can be summed up. The course plan, the content of the course plan look at this. I'm slightly taking the Word file for your reference. See here. Is it visible? Yeah, see here. The course plan, the case scheme, curriculum implementation, the name of the department, maybe civil, electrical, mechanical, electronics, chemical, and so on. Name of the teacher, XYZ, ABC, and so on. Course title and code. What is the course title? The fluid mechanics, design, and so on. And the course, the code for which the MSBTE has designed. Type of the course, whether it is a discipline-specific course, discipline-specific elective, or skill enhancement courses, and so on. Ability enhancement courses. Then total learning hours, how much it is. Then credits, how much credits they are having. And the course outcome, one after the another. You have to, map this course outcome with the POs at the last. So accordingly, you should be very critical in designing the course outcome, so CO 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there could be 5 to 6 CO in a particular course or in a particular subject. Then next is the same part is continued further. Look at here. This is only the example. That the TLO, whether it is one TL, first TLO, second TLO, third TLO, or so on. Then the aligned content. First topic is measurement of unit. Second one is the tentative time, 2 hours. Pedagogy methods, inquiry and self-learning. Then aligned learning resources, that is a reference book, wave inquiry. Then teacher's activity, what could be? Observer and facilitator. He has to observe whether the students are doing their work in the classroom or not, in the laboratory or not. And accordingly, he had to assess it. Then assessment methods, that is observation and pen and pencil test. Pen and paper test or pen and paper test. It should be not pencil, pen and paper test. And last is the marks. How many marks are there? The similar things are being repeated for the various topics. That is the heat and temperature, modes of heat transfer, thermometers, waves and types of waves, and so on, and so on. There are again different pedagogies, different aligned learning resources, different teachers' role, and the student activity with the assessment methods. For each and every topic, there should be different. See, look at there. For every topic, there are certain different methods have been put already on the board. So it is not that one and same method can be useful or can be implemented for all the content and for the whole content. So mind well that particular thing. Next is, sorry, I thought it is a PPT. Resources availability. That is the curriculum and the course outcome, whether you have to tick it, yes or no. Available to the student, yes. Available to the department, yes. Available to the teacher, yes. Available to any other source, yes. Any other source means maybe on the website or maybe on the library or anything. Then course plan. Available to the student, no. Available to the department, yes. Available to the teachers, yes. Available to any other source, not mentioned. Lecture notes, student के लिए, yes. Teacher department के लिए, need not be. Available to teachers, yes. For that, available at any other resources, yes. Similarly, there are various resources, that is the books, assignment, sample question paper, samples of examination, rubrics, and any other which is not listed in above list. Any other which is not listed in above list. Because it is the sole creativity of the teacher, creation of the student, teacher, what resources he may need. What resource he may need. And accordingly, I think this is the last thing. So this is what is the last slide of our presentation. And accordingly, thanks for patience listening. If you have any doubts, all doubts are welcome. We'll rectify those particular doubts. If not, we'll have a break of 15 minutes, and then Professor Yadav will focus on the social skill part. No doubts? Okay. Shall we break or not? Huh? Okay. So with your permission, we'll break for the cup of tea. Thank you.
Hello.
Okay, good afternoon. Now we'll start with the last session of this today's workshop. Now it is totally related with the SLS, actually where we are having a maximum queries. Now as you know, there are some mandates from the central government or state government that we have to implement some courses mandatory for all the branches. Okay, if you remember, when we designing the I scheme, that time we are having some subject related with the environmental engineering, some subject related with the energy management, that we have mandatorily incorporated in the I scheme curriculum. So likewise, if we see the NEP 2020 document, so here also we are having some courses, we have to add that courses. I think in the morning session, Dr. Kedar sir given you that list, ki what are the courses actually we have to cover throughout the 6th semester. Actually, so for the 2nd semester, we are having this social and life skill. For the 3rd semester, we are having Indian Constitution. For the 4th semester, we are having yoga and meditation or yoga and sport. It may change, but they, at least one subject it will be there from the NEP 2020 guideline. So, I am here to discuss the guideline. Actually, I am the part of this particular process for designing the guideline for this SLS. So, I am here to tell you the what actually MSBTE want to cover or how to complete this particular course at institute level. As you can see here, you can see the list of courses. Okay, for all the 47 courses, we are having this course compulsory. That is starting from your architecture to the textile manufacturing. So it is for 2nd semester. So I will directly go on the course content instead of wasting the time. So here you can see in the SLS we are having the 5 modules. Now that modules are, module 1 it is UMA, that is Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan. Then 2nd module is National Service Scheme. Then 3rd module is Universal Human Values. Then 4th one is the Value Education, that is Unnati Foundation. And the 5th module is Financial Literacy, that is NABARD. So what is expected actually, so what happening whenever this 2nd semester scheme is published, that time so many questions are there in your mind, ki yes, the subject is there actually, but how we have to complete this particular course. Okay, so this is the brief guideline. So here you can see that this module 1 to 5 are available for you to complete. Okay, the detailed guideline I will tell you one by one whenever it will come, but you have to complete this particular course SLS by taking, your students should take any one of the module out of these 5. Okay, you can start from module 1, module 2, anything, but there is a restriction for 2 module. Compulsorily or mandatorily you have to do module 1 and module 2 in your institute. There should be 30 students. This Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan should be given to the minimum 30 students, and this National Service Scheme, again it should be given to the minimum 30 students. That is the mandatory requirement. Okay. It is not like that ki yes, yes there is a freedom that then I will go, hardly 5 to 6 students are going for UMA and 5 to 10 students are going for National Service Scheme. It is not there. So there is a restriction from the board. That decision we have taken that, and it is there in mandate of Government of Maharashtra's GR, which is published in January 2016, that we have to mandatorily, compulsory actually implement this particular 2 module, that is Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan and National Service Scheme. So remember this thing, minimum 30 students should be allocated to the Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan, minimum 30 students should be allocated to the National Service Scheme. Then others are available for you. Sometime it may happen that 100 students are interested for Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan, welcome. Again, same thing is for National Service Scheme, but again it is depend on what restriction you are having at your institute level. But this is the mandatory requirement. Then, so I will not go for COs and all that things. So this is a scheme for the SLS, as it is not the part of your timetable. Minimum 2 hours is there per week, so the load for SLS will be the 30 hour per semester. Okay, what is the next activity? You have to form. मॅडम एक जे आपलं डॉक्युमेंट आहे तिथे अपलोड करा, ते डॉक्युमेंट नाही आले इथे उन्नत महाराष्ट्रात. हे डॉक्युमेंट पाहिजे आपल्याला, ते तुमच्या याच्यामध्ये आहे. सो नेक्स्ट याच्यात नाही सर येस मॅडम त्यांना करू सर, मी तुम्हाला एक्सप्लेन करतो. येस. Then the next activity is that you have to form one committee. Actually, this is actually our curriculum which is uploaded on MSBTE. There is another guideline document. The work is going on there. Then I will publish the here. The step 1 for implementing this curriculum is that you have to form one committee at your institute level. For that particular committee, the chairman will be the principal of your institute. Then academic coordinator will be the member secretary. Then head of department of all program will be the member of that committee. In charge of science and humanities department, one member of that committee, and then workshop superintendent. This is again one member of that committee. So by this way, you have to form this committee to implement this course at your institute level. Remember that starting as a chairman, the principal of your institute, to the workshop superintendent as a member, then all the head of departments are member of that committee. Then academic coordinator of your institute will be the member secretary for that particular committee. So this is the work you have to do at your institute when you will return tomorrow. Then what is the second step? After formation of this committee, you have to go for orientation program. Now what this orientation program include, that you have to give the detailed guideline to your faculty as well as to your student. Actually what they have to do, because this is a very new thing for the second semester student. They actually don't know what is meant by Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan, then what is this different five different types of the module they are facing now. So what you have to do actually, as this is a very new program for the second semester student, you have to take the orientation program for that particular student as well as your faculty, because faculty also don't know how to cover this subject at your institute level. So this is a second step. So in that particular thing, you have to brief about the different types of the module, then scope of this particular module and what actually opportunities they are having by completing these different types of the module. So this kind of the information you have to give at your institute level. Now this is the responsibility of the academic coordinator actually to do all these things. Then what is the third step? Then allocation of student to the module shall be decided by the course implementation cell. Now whatever committee you have formed there, that is nothing but your course implementation cell. Now that is the responsibility of that particular committee to divide all the student, that second semester student, among the all faculty members. Now who is involved here, that I will tell you. So that is the fourth step. Whatever student you are having, I will repeat this sentence, whatever student you are having in the second semester, that is equally divided among all the faculty member, excluding principal in your institute. So that include all head of department, all faculty member of all departments, and your workshop superintendent. Suppose you are having a 300 student in your institute for second semester, and suppose you are having a 30 staff member excluding principal, then this 300 divided by 30, it will be 10 students among all the faculties. So this is how you have to, that implementation cell will have to divide your student among the faculty members. So here it is the, again, the responsibility goes toward the implementation cell to divide your all the student in all the faculty members. So there is no doubt about that, I am the head of department and I am the workshop superintendent, I am the senior faculty, there is no role of that. And one thing is strictly we bold out here that this load should not be given to the visiting faculty or clock or faculty. Remember this. This load should not be given to the visiting faculty or clock or basis faculty. Yes. These are the module about which I am talking. Now this is the committee actually. This is the guideline document which is available on the website. The chairman will be the principal and the other members are there. Then these are the steps about which I am talking. The step 4 we are discussing actually. All the students you have to divide among all the faculty member, but visiting faculty or clock or base faculty should not be involved in this activity. So you should take care about all these things. Then, what are the general guidelines? The main guidelines है each student should register for only one module. हो सकता है कि कोई बहुत ही एक्टिव स्टूडेंट से मैं पाँचों के पाँचों मॉड्यूल को रजिस्टर करना चाहता हूँ. सो दैट फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी शुड नॉट बी गिवन. उसको बोलना कि आप यहाँ पे एक ही रजिस्टर करो, 4 आपके घर पे जाके पढ़ो, नो डाउट. सो वन स्टूडेंट विल बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर ओनली वन मॉड्यूल. ही कैन टेक एनी वन मॉड्यूल, बट द थिंग्स आई टोल्ड यू दैट कि आपके कॉलेज में से कम 30 स्टूडेंट्स उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान को और 30 स्टूडेंट एनएसएस को जाने ही चाहिए. एंड देन अदर मॉड्यूल यू कैन गो फॉर दैट. अब इसमें और एक हो सकता है कि हमारा जो 5th मॉड्यूल है इसमें थोड़ा सा आपको ये लग सकता है. जो हमारा मॉड्यूल 5 है फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी, एक्चुअली ऑल आर इंटरेस्टेड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर टास्क. All the faculty member and students are also interested because whatever things actually we are going to cover under that are interesting tasks, mutual funds and all that things, what is share bazaar and all that things. Okay, so that is everyone want to learn about that. But again you have to take care that कि 400 बच्चे और 400 के 400 बच्चे इसको नहीं जानी चाहिए. So there is a restriction. You have to go for minimum 30 there, and then you can divide. So it is your duty then. Then second is member secretary will coordinate allocation of registered student and module to each faculty member such that any faculty member will be coordinating a batch of single module. अब यहाँ पे problem क्या हो सकता है कि suppose I am as a faculty member and I am having a 10 student under me to complete this activity. तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि मेरा एक student फर्स्ट मॉड्यूल कर रहा है, दूसरा स्टूडेंट दूसरा कर रहा है, तीसरा स्टूडेंट तीसरा कर रहा है. तो दिस शुड नॉट बी हैपन. तो ये केयर एकेडमिक कोऑर्डिनेटर को लेना है कि सपोज आई एज अ फैकल्टी मेरे पास जो 5 या 10 बच्चे आने वाले हैं दैट शुड बी फ्रॉम दी सिंगल मॉड्यूल. वो एक ही मॉड्यूल के मेरे पास आने चाहिए. क्योंकि द रीज़न इज़ दैट कि सपोज आई एम हैंडलिंग द उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान दिस एक्टिविटी और दिस मॉड्यूल एंड इफ आई वांट टू कंप्लीट दिस एक्टिविटी आउटसाइड द कॉलेज, तो मैं अगर वहाँ पे लेके जा रहा हूँ तो सिर्फ उसमें से एक बच्चा नहीं लेके जाऊँगा. आई विल गो विथ माई बैच. I will complete that activity with all the 10 students which is underneath me. So this care academic coordinator should have to take कि एक staff जो है उसके पास एक ही मॉड्यूल के बच्चे जाने चाहिए. Either it may be from module 1, module 2 or whatever it may be. So that care again he or she has to take as a institute academic coordinator. Then these things I told you, minimum 30 students for module 1 and 30 for module 2. Then as per the scheme actually 30 hours is allocated. Actually what is the problem? I told you that कि it is not load which we can mention in the timetable. Then how we can cover that activity? अब इसमें ऐसा क्वेश्चन आ सकता है कि 2 आवर हर एक वीक में आपको करने हैं. Then how we can cover this activity? So ये एक्टिविटी आप लोग कैसे कर सकते हैं कि I will tell you when I will go down कि suppose I am handling the उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान and I want to do one activity in the village. वहाँ पे उन लोगों के कुछ प्रॉब्लम मैंने आइडेंटिफाई किया एज अ फैकल्टी. आई विल टेक माई स्टूडेंट देयर. सो इनिशियली इट शुड बी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम यू एज अ फैकल्टी. नाउ यू हैव टू विजिट दैट विलेज. सपोज आई वांट टू कंप्लीट वन एक्टिविटी इन द विलेज. सो एज अ फैकल्टी यू हैव टू गो इन दैट विलेज. You have to contact with the sarpanch, gram sevak or whatever the person who is responsible for that village. You have to talk with them what is actually the problem you are having that we can solve as an engineer or as a student and faculty. Then you have to give that as a problem to your student, and then in the next visit you have to take your student with you and then you have to visit. So this 30 hour is not like that कि हर एक week में आपको दो घंटे बच्चों को उस village में लेके जाना है. You are first visiting and second time you are visiting your students with you, so that will complete your 30 hour. There is no problem. So that to visit and the report based on that visit which the students will submit to you, that will complete your this SLS activity. So this is how actually it is expected. It is not like that कि हर week में मुझे 2 घंटे करना है. But this can be possible for आपका जो module 5 है suppose financial literacy related. इसमें anyone can do कि suppose in this week I am having one expert from the bank or bank manager. I will call him. I will take the guest lecture for this particular fellow for 2 hours. That will be my only 2 hour activity. इन द नेक्स्ट वीक मैं किसी और को बुलाऊंगा, वो एक्टिविटी करके लूँगा. दिस इज़ अनदर एक्टिविटी. तो जहाँ पे पॉसिबल है वहाँ पे आप लोग कर सकते हो. बट फॉर द उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान और NSS, in this way you can go. For NSS point of view, actually there is another problem. I don't know in any one of the college in Mumbai region having NSS. Okay, but I think you are having degree college in your campus. No. Okay, that is then it is good. Actually. This problem is there कि maximum these colleges are not having a NSS unit. So those are having, that is very good. Otherwise you can implement, you can take the guideline from the website and you can implement that NSS in your institute. Okay, and those are already having the degree colleges or the well established NSS unit, the very good sign for them, because it is then ready plate for them to conduct this activity about the NSS. Then the next task is after completion of this activity. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि suppose you are visiting that village and you are completed one task, you have to prepare a report and that report should be submitted to the faculty. So that student has to prepare one report. Now preparation of the report is also one big task. So for that particular activity, the student should be guided by the mentor faculty who is allocated them as a mentor. Now this is the next line. It is the responsibility of the faculty to submit final marks of the student to the respective department. It may happen that, as I told you, that whatever strength of student you are having, that we are equally distributing among all the faculty member. ऐसा हो सकता है कि I am the faculty from the chemical engineering or I am getting the student from the suppose mechanical engineering. ऐसा भी हो सकता है. So what actually happening, you have to coordinate that particular student. आपको उनसे activity करके लेना है. Then whatever mark you have to give, after the submission of the report, you have to prepare one report for that, and that mark you have to submit to the respective head of department. जैसे मुझे civil के mechanical के head of department को mark submit करने पड़ेंगे. तो this possibility is also there. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि मेरे branch के बच्चे मेरे underneath आएगा, ये भी possibility नहीं है. But this is your duty actually. You have to submit that mark of that particular student from that particular branch to the respective head of department. Okay, ये detention का एक issue that I will discuss later on. अब यहाँ पे we'll go module wise. So already I told you the Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan, what we can do actually there. Now this particular GR is available. Okay, there is one in IIT Bombay actually there is one center, Sitara. Anyone knows about this? Okay, it is a center for technological advancement for rural areas. So there is a special unit in the IIT Powai, IIT Bombay. Actually, they are working for this Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan. Now, if you go on the website of the IIT Mumbai and if you search there Sitara, C-T-A-R-A, C-A-T-N-I, C-T-A-R-A, Sitara, so you will find there all the work done by the IIT Mumbai. There is a report, actually they are having yearly reports and all that things. All the government mandates or government GRs are available on that Sitara website. So we'll find that there are a lot of things actually we can do in connection with this Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan. So that GR is actually of 13th of January 2016. It is available on that. And if you see that GR, you will find that there are a lot of actual activities they have mentioned that you can conduct with the help of the student. But as I know that there are so many restrictions as a polytechnic college we are having, but we can go for that. But whenever actually we gone for this particular document, when we started preparation of this particular document, there are a lot of thinkings are there, and some activity actually we are thinking, जैसे मैंने आपको अभी बताया कि yes we are visiting to the nearby villages or nearby areas, not necessary that you have to go in the village में जाओ वहीं पे काम करो, you can visit nearby school, जिला परिषद school, you can visit nearby municipal corporation school, try to understand their problem, उसको solve करने का ये करो. Means there are a lot of activity, that activity actually you have to think and you have to work out. जैसे we mention here the field work में आप लोग क्या कर सकते हैं, पायलट ऑफ दिस पायलट विजिट है, देन सर्वे विजिट है, सर्वे विजिट 1, 2 एंड समरी विजिट. In this way you can prepare a report. Pilot visit means what? As a faculty member I am visiting to that particular area, taking the problem from their side. Then survey visit 1 and 2, that is data gathering or information collection. Then again data gathering if necessary, and then final submission of the visit or closure of this. So in this way you can prepare the report under this Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan, and then we can go for. Now some examples actually you are given here, ki what small activity we can do. The measurement of passenger and state transport buses available at any particular route in the village or town. Actually there is one concept from the IIT Pavi people about this Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan, that is let's measure, chala mojuya. That is their slogan actually. So this kind of the small activities also given. जैसे यहाँ पे एक mention किया है कि if there is a one transport station nearby you, ask your student just measure the route of that particular buses and just make a report. Okay, this is a very simple activity the mention here. Then measurement of the street light and their rating and its consumption in small locality or village. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि विलेज में जाके आप ये भी कर सकते हो कि आप एनर्जी ऑडिट हो गया. जैसे अभी सपोज आई एम टेकिंग एग्जांपल ऑफ दिस हॉल, अगर मैं किसी मेरे 10 बच्चे को मेरे जो हाथ के नीचे काम कर रहे हैं, इफ आई विल गिव देम द एक्टिविटी, फाइंड आउट द एनर्जी रेटिंग और दिस एनर्जी ऑडिट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर ऑडिटोरियम, दिस विल बी द वन एक्टिविटी. अब इतने यहाँ पे लाइट लगा हुआ है, इतने फैन लगा हुआ है, इसका एनर्जी कंजम्पशन कितना हो रहा है, अगर मैं इसको रिप्लेस करता हूँ किसी अदर ऑप्शन से उसका रेटिंग क्या होगा, तो दिस विल बी ऑन रिपोर्ट. सो इन दिस वे स्मॉल एक्टिविटी यू कैन गिव एंड वी कैन गो फॉर. मीन्स व्हाट एक्चुअली वी वांट कि स्टूडेंट शुड नो व्हाट एक्चुअली हैपन, एंड whenever they will go in second year and third year, अभी यहाँ पे जो small activity उनको लग रही हो सकता है इसमें से कुछ अच्छा निकल के आ जाए, and there may be some startups and other things will be come out. Then measurement of number of people in a locality and estimation of their daily requirement of the water, this may be one task. So these are the some small examples are given to you, so you can think yourself, because now the ball is in your court. You have to think that activity and you have to complete. But I will definitely suggest you can take help of the GR which is published in 13 January of 2016 regarding the Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan. Definitely there are lot of activities they are mentioned, and I will request you visit to the Sitara website of the IIT Mumbai, because there also they are having lot of things that you can do, or some idea definitely you will get from there. Then this national service scheme I already told you कि you can complete this activity either by your by having your small unit of NSS if it is well established in your institute. Otherwise you can go for blood donation camp or some other activities, because we don't have any other option. See, as a diploma institute, if you don't have the this kind of the NSS unit established there, then we cannot say that yes it is not there and we will not complete this activity. But we can think other than that. We can go for this, as I told you कि blood donation camp ले सकते हैं, कुछ other activity आप सोच सकते हैं which will be completed under the NSS scheme. Or you can have the, if आपके पास अगर कोई NSS unit अगर है तो you are having a list of activities that can be completed. Then third one is the universal human values. Actually this is the document which is published by AICT. यहाँ पे there is a list of actually the courses which is available. You can complete the course from that particular list also. So these are the available on the AICT website. The list is available, you can go there. There is a one document, PDF document, that the name is itself given there, Curriculum and Guideline for Life Skills, Jivan Kaushal. So this is the name of that document which is available on AICT website. This is the link of that. you can, from the UGC website, so you can refer that website to see the number of things that you can complete under this universal human values. Then value education, actually this value education, and in bracket Unnati Foundation is what actually. So the companies like Infosys and some other IT companies, they came forward and they want actually some colleges. So the numbers and all the things are provided there, but it is not necessary and it is not feasible also that if you call them and they will give you all the facility. Some specified numbers they can give you. So actually they want to do something for your institute from their side. Some IT company, like I already told you, there are so many, more than 30 IT companies. They came together and they are having something for you for as a polytechnic. But again, they are having their different criterias. So if you are interested, the number is already given in our document. You can contact them, and if you are coming under whatever requirement they are having, their terms and condition, so definitely you can take advantage of this also. So this Unnati Foundation is coming from their side. So they are also having some value educations. Then module 5 actually. Now as I told you, module 5 is again very interesting course here. Maybe some faculties and students are very much interested. If you see there, the mentor teacher can take help of learning resources available on the portal of this Reserve Bank of India, this NABARD, this NISM. What is NISM? What is NISM? It is National Institute for Security Management, and this SEBI, Stock Exchange Board of India. Actually, so many things are available on this website. Authentically, you can take and you can go for that. So, if you want to conduct this kind of the financial literacy, so you can take help of the bank manager, then this chartered accountants or cost accountants or any company secretaries like this one. So there are small module you can develop, and like it may be related with anything related with the financial literacy, and then you can complete this kind of the course. But again, I told you that mandatorily there is a 2 hour per week. So in this way you have to manage, because suppose you are going for the financial literacy, so maybe you have to conduct some kind of the guest lecture, and डिपेंडिंग अपॉन 2-3 टाइप ऑफ द मॉड्यूल हो सकता है कि म्यूचुअल फंड है या फिर कुछ इंश्योरेंस है या फिर कुछ शेयर टाइप थिंग्स है, तो उसके ऊपर दे हैव टू प्रिपेयर द रिपोर्ट. So you have to show the record there कि yes, we have conducted this kind of the guest lecture. These are the materials available from the websites and we are provided to the students. And on the basis of that, students are prepared the report, and this is the data for that one. Because we have to give some marks. Whatever things I already discussed here, all the 5 modules are having marks, you know that. And based on their activities, you have to give the marks. I already told you that. All the faculty members are responsible for this one. तो आपको जो भी module आपको allot किया जाएगा, on the basis of that module actually you have to complete that activity or that particular module, and on the basis of the performance of the student you have to give the mark based on the report submitted by the student, and then this activity is completed. So it is very necessary that and the things should go properly. This care should be taken by the academic coordinator, because there is an implementation cell in the institute for all the things. This committee is responsible. So it is whole and sole responsibility from starting from principal to the workshop superintendent, and then academic coordinator as a member secretary of this particular committee. So I don't think the things will not happen in that particular spirit. So okay, so regarding detention, so there will not be actually the things going in the MSBTE. Maybe the document modified in next 2-3 days. But as we are not detaining the student in self-learning, actually आप लोगों का अगर ISK में हम लोगों ने जो किया था कि out of 30, 0 also accepted. So there will be no failure. Okay, no detention because of the that SLS or self-learning. So if we apply this criteria for this SLS, so we can say that there will be no detention for this particular subject. Oh, student fail हो सकता है, but he has to complete that activity in the next semester. अगर ये semester में बच्चे ने अगर नहीं किया, तो he may fail in that particular activity, and he has to again go for that particular activity in the next semester. So this may be the guideline for this one. हो सकता है कि next 3-4 days में it will be modified on the website or in the MSBT document. So this is all from my side for this particular. हाँ बिल्कुल द्या मॅडम आता.
हॅलो
सर, आता ते ग्रीन क्लब आणि युनिसेफच्या ज्या ॲक्टिव्हिटीज आहेत
Yes.
तर आम्ही थर्ड इयरच्या आणि फर्स्ट इयरच्या मॅक्झिमम स्टुडंट म्हणजे आमच्याकडे डॅशबोर्डवर जवळजवळ 350 मुलं आहेत आता. त्यांच्याकडे वायवेसचा ॲप आणि त्यांनी तो कोर्स पण ऑनलाईन कंप्लीट केलेला आहे. तर तो मग आम्ही इथे कुठे इंट्रोड्यूस करायचा?
नाही ॲक्च्युली मॅडम कुठल्या थर्ड इयर म्हणलं तुम्ही?
आम्ही फर्स्ट इयरला सगळ्यांना घेतलं आहे.
ओके
290 स्टुडंट त्याच्यामध्ये आहेत, 290.
ओके. ॲक्च्युली युनिसेफ आता किती लोकांना माहिती आहे आय डोंट नो, पण युनिसेफ ही एक ॲक्टिव्हिटी मॅडम कोऑर्डिनेटर त्या पर्टिक्युलर टास्कच्या VPMसाठी आणि मी सहाय्यक जिल्हा नोडल अधिकारी त्या पर्टिक्युलर टास्कला. सो व्हॉट हॅपनिंग ॲक्च्युली हिअर वी वॉन्ट देअर शुड बी कंटिन्युअस मॉनिटरिंग. एखादी ॲक्टिव्हिटी आपण जेव्हा त्यांना देतो आहे मॅडम, युनिसेफ पण हा एक पर्याय असू शकतो त्याला, पण ॲक्च्युली यू हॅव टू मॉनिटर दॅट की फक्त मुलांनी तो ॲप डाउनलोड केला आणि त्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी फक्त तिथे टिक करून टाकलं की मी आज दिवसाला 40 लिटर पाणी वाचवलं आणि झाली माझी ॲक्टिव्हिटी. दिट शुड नॉट बी देअर बिकॉज यू हॅव टू शो द रिपोर्ट. कारण या ॲक्टिव्हिटीमध्ये कसं होऊ शकते मागे पुढे की इफ देर इज some surprise visit or some kind of the committee if you are visiting, if they will ask you what actually you have done to complete this particular activity. होऊ शकते की तुमच्या कॉलेजमध्ये तुम्ही जी कमिटी तयार केली आहे ती कमिटीसुद्धा तुम्हाला विचारेल की ही टास्क कंप्लीट करून घेण्यासाठी तुम्ही काय केलं आहे. सो त्यावेळी तुमच्याकडे इट शुड बी मेजरेबल. म्हणजे आपण असं म्हणू शकत नाही आता, कारण ती ॲक्टिव्हिटी मला माहिती आहे, कारण आय एम द असिस्टंट डिस्ट्रिक्ट नोडल ऑफिसर फॉर दॅट. याच्यामध्ये मुलं अशी पर्टिक्युलर एखादी ॲक्टिव्हिटी करणार नाही. सो आय विल सजेस्ट दॅट यू कॅन गिव्ह ॲक्टिव्हिटी दॅट कॅन बी मेजरेबल. म्हणजे यू कॅन गिव्ह फ्रॉम दॅट साईड ऑल्सो, बट इट शुड बी मेजरेबल. म्हणजे मुलं काय करतायत तुम्हाला समजलं पाहिजे. आता युनिसेफमध्ये काय होऊ शकते की येस दे आर डुईंग ओनली ऑन द ॲप, ते असं पर्टिक्युलरली स्पेशली असं काही करत नाही आहे. म्हणजे आपण एखादी ॲक्टिव्हिटी जेव्हा आपण घेतो आहे त्या ॲक्टिव्हिटीमध्ये तिथे काय होणार, आणखी परत तुमचा ग्रुप एक 10-20 लोकांचा ग्रुप येणार. मग ते असं होणार नाही की ते सगळे ते समजा जरी फर्स्ट इयरचे असतील पण ते सगळे उन्नत महाराष्ट्राचे जे आहेत किंवा NSSचे आहेत हे तुम्हाला समजणार नाही. तो आय विल सजेस्ट दॅट की आय डोंट थिंक की एनी दिस काइंड ऑफ द ॲक्टिव्हिटी कॅन बी इन्कॉर्पोरेटेड फॉर दिस वन. SLSसाठी मॅडम हां नाही, दॅट्स वाय आय एम सजेस्टिंग यू कॅन गो फॉर द GR. मी म्हणून काय सांगितलं की ॲक्टिव्हिटी अशा बघा की ज्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला त्रास होणार नाही आणि ज्या ॲक्टिव्हिटी आपण मुलांकडून करून घेऊ शकू. कारण 10 मुलं समजा माझ्या हाताखाली, मला जर उन्नत, मी म्हणून खूप सिम्पल एक्झाम्पल घेतले आम्ही मॅडम याच्यामध्ये गाईडलाईनमध्ये की एक्सक्यूज मी आपण एखादी अशी ओके आता ओके एक्सक्यूज मी या हॉलमध्ये मी तुम्हाला 3 एक्झाम्पल देऊ शकतो तुम्ही कुठल्या ॲक्टिव्हिटी करू शकता. 3 ॲक्टिव्हिटी 3 ब्रँचेससाठी. इलेक्ट्रिकलची मुलं याच्यामध्ये इलेक्ट्रिकल ऑडिट करू शकतात, केमिकलची मुलं असेल तर सेफ्टी ऑडिट करू शकतात, सिव्हिलची मुलं असेल तर स्ट्रक्चर ऑडिट करू शकतात. झाले ना 3 ॲक्टिव्हिटी आणि इट इज कमिंग अंडर द उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ दी व्हेरी स्मॉल ॲक्टिव्हिटी. आता समजा तुमचं गार्डन आहे, तुमच्या गार्डनमध्ये समजा एखादी असे ॲक्टिव्हिटी वॉट एव्हर इट मे बी. सो अ व्हेरी स्मॉल ॲक्टिव्हिटी वी कॅन गिव्ह. आपली इच्छा काय की मुलांनी काहीतरी करायचं आहे त्याच्यातून अँड देट शुड बी सम आउटपुट फ्रॉम दॅट. इट शुड बी आउटकम बेस्ड. म्हणजे अ व्हेरी सिम्पल एक्झाम्पल यू कॅन गिव्ह. तुम्हाला एखादा कॉलेजचं ऑडिट जरी करायला दिलं, समजा 10 मुलांची बॅच आहे तुमच्याकडे, 10 मुलांना तुम्ही कॉलेजचं ऑडिट करायला दिलं, झालं तुमची बॅच कंप्लीट झाली. सो इन दिस वे यू कॅन प्रोसीड. हां हां ओके
की
हां.
कदाचित असं होऊ शकतं काही लोकांकडे ज्यात त्याला डिटेन करण्याचं जे डॉक्युमेंट म्हटलंय ना ते अवेलेबल असू शकतं. पण आता जे MSBTने दिलंय त्यात ते अपलोड झालंय. हा माझा पहिला जस्ट एक मुद्दा होता की ते आपण शेवटच्या ह्याच्यावर,
कारण माझ्याकडे पण जुनं डॉक्युमेंट आहे.
हा नवीन आता आलंय सर, वेबसाईटवर ते आलंय. दुसरा मुद्दा असा होता सर, रिपोर्ट लिहिण्याच्या बाबतीत आपण जसं परीक्षेला आता त्यांना भाषेचं स्वातंत्र्य दिलंय की नाही,
Yes.
हे काम असं आहे ना की ही कन्सेप्ट खूपच छान आहे की सेकंड सेमिस्टरला मुलगा हे बघेल, त्याचा मायक्रो प्रोजेक्ट, त्याचा मेजर कॅपस्टोन प्रोजेक्ट असेल किंवा तो आंतरप्रेनर कुठेही जिथे त्याला जायचं आहे तर ती आयडिया त्याला इथे त्याच्यात रुजावी. हा खरंच स्तुत्य उपक्रम आहे. याला भाषेचं बंधन रिपोर्टसाठी आपण टाळू शकतो का? का सांगतो, मराठीमध्ये जर तो मुलगा लिहू शकत असेल ना, आपण त्याला उत्तर फायनल द्यायला मराठीत परवानगी दिली आहे बायलँग्वेज, तर हे रिपोर्ट रायटिंग त्याचं ते इंग्रजीमधलं वगैरे ते तो करेलच त्याच्या करिक्युलमचा पार्ट म्हणून. हा जर त्याचा एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, शिक्षकांनाही ही नवीन ॲक्टिव्हिटी म्हणून एक त्यांनाही जाणवणार आहे, तर रिपोर्टचं त्यांना एक थोडं हे द्या. कारण खूप सारे रिपोर्ट जे आपण म्हणता आहात त्या पोर्टल्सवर मराठीत अवेलेबल आहे.
एक्झॅक्टली.
उगच ते म्हणजे माझं काय म्हणणं आहे, इंग्रजीचा रिपोर्ट रायटिंग त्याला आपण करिक्युलममध्ये शिकवतो आहोत, हे थोडंसं आपण त्याला स्वातंत्र्य देतोय. रिपोर्टच्या बाबतीत तुम्ही ते ॲक्सेप्ट कराल का?
नाही, मला नाही वाटत सर याच्यामध्ये काही प्रॉब्लेम यायला नको. जर आपण मुलांना शिकवतोय मराठीमध्ये 50%, मला नाही वाटत याच्यामध्ये कोणी डिसॲग्री व्हायचा प्रश्न आहे. वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग दॅट की दे आर रायटिंग आन्सर शीट इन द मराठी, वी आर चेकिंग दॅट.
हे आपलं फॉर्मल ह्याच्यावर जर आलं की नाही या डिस्कशनमध्ये, त्याचा काय होईल फायदा?
आम्ही आता सर ॲक्च्युली हे होऊ शकते पॉलिसी डिसिजन आहे. तर आम्ही काय करतो, विल कन्वे दिस मेसेज टू द RBT और मातुलकर सर इथे आहेत. मातुलकर सर बोलले तर बरं होईल. एक मिनिट सर.
सर नमस्कार.
सर फक्त एक मेल करा आम्हाला.
बिलकुल बिलकुल.
सजेशन
हे थोडं छान वाटतंय सर, काहीतरी ह्याच्यातून चांगलं घडेल असं वाटतंय खरोखर. तर अडतं कुठं जाऊन सगळे आपल्याकडे शासकीय तंत्रनिकेतन असू द्या, कुठलेही असू द्या, हे गरीब होतकरू मुलं येतात. यांना परत ते त्या क्रिटिकल फॉर्मॅटमध्ये लिहायचं म्हटलं ना, ते काम राहतं बाजूला, त्या पोरांना त्या गोष्टीचं दडपण येतं.
जस्ट तुम्ही मेल करा.
4 पानाचाच लिहू द्या, पण त्याला तिथं जे खरं आढळलं कदाचित त्याच्या मुलंच येतील. माझं जर चुकत नसेल ना तर मुलंच सांगतील, सर आमच्या गावात हा प्रॉब्लेम आहे, आपण चला माझ्या घरी जाऊयात. मग त्याचं ते जे काय म्हणणं आहे ना, त्याला भाषेचं स्वातंत्र्य, ज्याच्यात असेसमेंट करतोय त्याला आपण भाषेचं स्वातंत्र्य दिलंय. रिपोर्ट किमान या रिपोर्ट पुरतं ही रिक्वेस्ट होती फक्त, बस तेवढं म्हणा. थँक्यू.
आम्हाला कसं.
बिलकुल बिलकुल, डेफिनेटली. येस, थँक्यू.
सर CDC सेक्शनला मेल करा आणि सायमल्टेनियसली RBTला पण करा. एक तो प्रॉब्लेम तुमचा सॉल्व्ह होऊ शकते.
Sir, just wanted to ask whether only individual reports can be submitted or group reports?
Madam, it's an individual report because we are giving individual marking for all the students. And what happening actually, it is not necessary that all the students will be that much serious. Okay, so we are giving individual marking, so it is expected.
Sure, thank you.
मॅडम NSS युनिट आहे का तुमच्याकडे ऑलरेडी? नाही, तर ॲक्च्युली ही जी ॲक्टिव्हिटी मॅडम याच्यामध्ये डिटेल गाईडलाईन आम्ही दिलेलं आहे. तुम्ही तुमच्या लेवलला, तुमच्या कॉलेजला इम्प्लिमेंटेशन सेल जो असेल ना, त्यांच्या गाईडलाईन घेऊन तुम्ही हे करू शकता, काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही त्याच्यात. म्हणजे MSBTने काही सजेशन द्यायचा काही प्रश्न येत नाही. दुसरी गोष्ट, NSSमध्ये ॲक्च्युली हेच एक्सपेक्टेड आहे, तुमचं कॅम्पिंग करणं किंवा विलेज अडॉप्ट घेऊन तिथे काहीतरी काम करणं, याच गोष्टी NSSमध्ये आपण करतो. आता मेन प्रॉब्लेम याच्यामध्ये काय झालं, मी आधीच बोललो की बऱ्याच जवळपास आता 80% इन्स्टिट्यूटमध्ये NSS हा नसेलच. मग त्या ठिकाणी आपण, म्हणून मी तुम्हाला ते ब्लड डोनेशन वगैरे या साध्या साध्या गोष्टी हे केल्या. येस. नाही नाही, कंपल्सरी नाही म्हणायचं मॅडम. ॲक्च्युली यू हॅव टू कंडक्ट दिस ॲक्टिव्हिटी, यू कॅन डू बाय युअर ओन वे. देर इज इम्प्लिमेंटेशन सेल इन युअर इन्स्टिट्यूट विथ द अंडर द गायडन्स ऑफ दॅट इम्प्लिमेंटेशन सेल यू कॅन प्रोसीड, नो प्रॉब्लम. We cannot say that it is compulsory.
डिग्री आणि डिप्लोमा बाजूबाजूला आहेत आणि डिग्रीवाल्यांनी जर विलेज अडॉप्ट केलेलं असेल.
Yes, you can work under them, no problem.
ओके ओके.
I already told you that those who are having degree colleges and well established NSS unit, they are already they can do that, no problem. Yes, ma'am. एक मिनिट. माईक घ्या म्हणजे सगळ्यांना क्वेश्चन ऐकायला पण जाईल.
हॅलो
हां,
सर, आमचं आर्किटेक्चर कॉलेज आहे. आमच्याकडे डिग्री आणि पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएट डिग्री ऑलरेडी होती. आता आमच्याकडे नवीन डिप्लोमा स्टार्ट झालं आहे यावर्षीपासून.
ओके
सर, तर त्यामुळे आमच्याकडे स्टुडंटची स्ट्रेंथ आहे ना, ती कमी आहे.
ओके.
मग तुम्ही जेव्हा ते म्हणता की उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियानमध्ये पण 30 घालायला पाहिजेत आणि NSSच्या अंडर पण 30, तर ते पॉसिबल नाही आहे.
मॅडम एक्सेप्शन्स आर देअर, आय अंडरस्टँड. आर्किटेक्चर तुमच्याकडे इंटेक किती 60 आहे, ॲडमिशन किती झालं आहे?
ॲडमिशन आमच्याकडे आता फक्त 25 स्टुडंट्स आहेत.
मग तुम्ही त्या 25मध्ये 10 याला देऊन टाका उन्नत महाराष्ट्राला, 10 NSSला देऊन टाका आणि 5 बाकीच्याला द्या.
हो, म्हणजे तेच मला विचारायचं होतं की दॅट वी कॅन डू इट. मला काय वाटलं की आम्हाला प्रत्येक ह्याला फिट करायचं आहे, मुलांना दोन्ही याला, म्हणून मी ते क्लेरिफिकेशन मला हवं.
इट्स ओके मॅम. ॲक्च्युली दिस इज अ कॉमन गाईडलाईन. ॲक्च्युली एक्सपेक्टेड असं आहे की प्रत्येक कॉलेजमध्ये मिनिमम 4-5 ब्रँचेस आहेत आणि 200-300 ॲडमिशन सगळ्यांकडे होत आहे. तर 200 जरी ॲडमिशन तुमच्याकडे होत असेल तर 30 आणि 60 मुलं तुम्ही या 2 गोष्टीसाठी स्पेअर करा आणि बाकीचे तुम्ही नाही आर्किटेक्चरला अंडरस्टँड म्हणा, आर्किटेक्चरला वगैरे नो प्रॉब्लेम.
सर, आता NSS मध्ये आम्ही बरेच ॲक्टिव्हिटी कंडक्ट करतो, पण आता तुम्ही बोलले की 30 तास अपेक्षित आहे, तर मग प्रत्येक म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये किती ॲक्टिव्हिटी अपेक्षित आहे, का सगळ्या ॲक्टिव्हिटीचे रिपोर्ट लिहिणं अपेक्षित आहे?
सर तुम्ही एक ॲक्टिव्हिटी चांगली करा, 30 तास दाखवा, नो प्रॉब्लेम.
ओके ठीक आहे.
म्हणजे 30 तास असं कंपल्सरी नाही की 30 तास करायचं?
सर 30 तास कंपल्सरी आहे ना, बिकॉज पर वीक 2 आवर, देर आर 15 वीक, 15 दुनी 30 आवर तुम्हाला कंपल्सरी आहे.
म्हणजे एक्सपर्टला बोलवा तर 15 एक्सपर्टला बोलवा लागेल.
नाही मग म्हणून सांगितलं मी तुम्हाला सर, फायनान्शियल लिटरसीमध्ये तुम्हाला तो प्रॉब्लेम आहे, तर ते तुम्हाला टॅकल करावं लागेल की तुम्ही 2-4 एक्सपर्ट लेक्चर घ्या आणि बाकीच्या याच्यामध्ये त्यांचा रिपोर्ट रायटिंग वगैरे कंप्लीट करून घ्या. तर मिनिमम एक 4 ते 5 तरी तुम्हाला एक्सपर्ट लेक्चर घ्यावं लागेल, गेस्ट लेक्चर.
ओके.
आणि बाकीच्या याच्यामध्ये रिपोर्ट रायटिंग असेल किंवा त्यांच्या क्वेरी सॉल्विंग असेल, दॅट यू कॅन डू.
ओके सर.
हां मॅडम.
आई वॉज आस्किंग कि एक ब्लड डोनेशन कैंप यदि एक ब्लड डोनेशन कैंप अरेंज करते हैं तो क्या हमारे 30 आवर्स वहाँ पर कंप्लीट होते हैं, या फिर हमको उनके साथ साथ कुछ एक्सपर्ट लेक्चर्स भी अरेंज करने
नहीं मैडम,
चाहिए? इस तरह
देखिए
से
सपोज यू आर हैविंग 10 स्टूडेंट की एक एक्टिविटी NSS के अंडर आप लोग कर रहे हैं, NSS के अंडर 30 स्टूडेंट्स है सपोज, तो 30 स्टूडेंट के लिए अगर आप एक बड़ी एक्टिविटी अगर कर रहे हो तो देर इज़ नो प्रॉब्लम आपका वो, या फिर यू कैन डिवाइड इन द 10 स्टूडेंट और 3 ग्रुप मिलके, क्योंकि एक फैकल्टी के अंडर नहीं 10 बच्चे अगर हम लोग दे रहे हैं तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि सपोज 3 फैकल्टी है, तीनों के अंडर 3-3 स्टूडेंट है, सिर्फ 9 स्टूडेंट्स है और वो एक ही कुछ एक्टिविटी करके इधर जा रहा है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. सो एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग करके आप लोगों को एक्टिविटी कंप्लीट करना है. ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि मैक्सिमम सपोज 100 स्टूडेंट्स आर गोइंग फॉर द NSS और एक ब्लड डोनेशन कैंप ले लिया, 100 स्टूडेंट का SLS हो गया, ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए. सो इन दैट वे यू हैव टू डू दैट.
ओके सर.
So our intention is that actually whenever we prepare this document, our intention is that maximum exposure is given to the students. आप उनसे आने दीजिए कि उनको क्या करना है. अगर उनके पास कुछ आइडिया है अच्छे से, let them do, let them complete. You just observe and monitor. Yes.
सर असेसमेंट रुब्रिक वगैरे असं काय वेगळं आहे का याचे असेसमेंट करण्यासाठी?
नाही, असेसमेंट रुब्रिक वगैरे अजून आलं नाही, पण दॅट यू हॅव टू डेव्हलप युअर ओन. आता याच्यामध्ये सांगतो सर तुम्हाला, आय विल गिव्ह द गाईडलाईन फॉर द असेसमेंट. व्हॉट यू कॅन डू, सपोज आम्ही 4 फॅकल्टी आहोत, आमच्या संस्थेमध्ये समजा आम्ही 30 फॅकल्टी आहोत, 30 पैकी आमच्या 4 लोकांकडे उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियानची मुलं आहेत. मी सिव्हिलचा आहे, मॅडम केमिकलचा आहे, इलेक्ट्रिकलचे, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्सचे आहे, पण चौघांकडे आमच्याकडे एकच मॉड्यूलचे मुलं आहेत इन अ सिंगल कॉलेज. तर व्हॉट विल डू, आम्ही चौघं सोबत बसू, त्याचे रुब्रिक्स डिझाईन करू आणि त्याच्यानुसार मार्क भरू. सो इन दिस वे यू कॅन गो. तुमच्या कॉलेजमध्ये NSSचे समजा 5 फॅकल्टीला दिले, तुम्ही 5 जण सोबत बसा, रुब्रिक्स डिझाईन करा, मार्क भरा, संपलं.
ओके, थँक्यू.
सर वन क्वेश्चन है, जो माइक्रो प्रोजेक्ट है इट शुड बी अकॉर्डिंग टू एनेक्सचर 1 और एनेक्सचर 2.
सो व्हाट इज दैट एनेक्सचर नाउ?
मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ इधर, कुछ मेरे पास फॉर्मेट है.
लेट मी सी.
और इवेल्युएशन एनेक्सचर 4.
इट इज फ्रॉम के स्कीम और
Sir, one more question. How many students should be in a group, maximum?
which group, sir? For micro project?
Yeah, for micro project. It says maximum 4 students.
Yes, maximum 4. For micro project.
For micro project. And for the activity?
Activity also, if the activity is big, there will be individual activities also there. There is a group activities also there. I will give you the example. सुबह मेरी एक मैडम से बात हुई, उन्होंने कहा कि व्हाट दे कैन कंडक्ट वन काइंड ऑफ द एक्टिविटी की, जैसे कुछ स्प्रिंगर बोर्ड के कुछ कोर्सेज है, 17 आवर का मॉड्यूल है, तो उनके जो भी बच्चे रहेंगे उनको वो पूरा कोर्स करने को लगाएंगे 17 आवर्स का, देयर विल बी एग्जाम फॉर दैट, उसका सर्टिफिकेट आएगा, तो दैट विल बी द इंडिविजुअल एक्टिविटी. ओके, ग्रुप एक्टिविटी में आप लोग ऐसा कुछ किसी ब्रांच में अगर आप ग्रुप एक्टिविटी कर सकते हो तो देयर इज़ नो प्रॉब्लम, लाइक अ माइक्रो प्रोजेक्ट. सर ये फॉर्मेट के स्कीम के सर बघा बरे के स्कीमचे आपले आय डोंट थिंक. Because what happening, there are different rubrics for activity, assignment and micro projects. So I think if you are having all these three formats from the case scheme, so there may be some typing mistake, because there is a different rubrics for activity, micro projects and assignments. So we'll check and we'll let you know. We'll keep this, sir. Applicate ठेवा madam copy. Yes ma'am. Anything from first and second, especially from second semester. Yes, yes, you can complete that activity, no problem. Yes. Any question?
नमस्कार सर. कोणतीही जेव्हा एखादी नवीन ॲक्टिव्हिटी तयार होते ना, तेव्हा ती खूप छान असते, त्याच्यामागचा उद्देश खूप छान असतो, परंतु त्याचं इम्प्लिमेंटेशन त्या ठिकाणी होतं की नाही हे बघण्यासाठी तो क्रायटेरिया त्या म्हणजे काय म्हणूया आपण सुपरविजनसाठी येणारी जी कमिटी असते त्यांच्यासाठी स्पेसिफिक तिथे काय असणार का असा मुद्दा की त्यांनी हे ऑब्झर्व केलं पाहिजे. कारण मला असं वाटतं की काही वेळा मायक्रो प्रोजेक्ट काही ठिकाणी खूप सिरियसली एखादा शिक्षक घेतो, पण फर्स्ट इयरचा मायक्रो प्रोजेक्ट किती लेवलला घेतला जातो हे प्रत्येक वेळी कमिटी ऑब्झर्व करतेच असं नाही. तसंच एवढी छान जी स्कीम आहे त्याचे जर आपण रूल्स स्ट्रिक्ट केले रिलेटेड विथ ॲनालिसिस तर प्रत्येकजण त्याचा खरोखर 100% उपयोग करेल. नाहीतर मग एकदा तो पॅटर्न फिक्स होईल, अरे या गावात जायचं दाखवायचं या गावात गेला, असं हे नॉर्मली होत नाही. पण काही ठिकाणी असं होऊ शकतं, म्हणून त्याच्यावर ॲनालिसिससाठी काही पुढचं रुब्रिक्स जसे आपण कमिटीमार्फत तुम्ही म्हणाला तसं एखादी जी कमिटी व्हिजिट देणार आहे त्यांच्यामार्फत काय असं असणार आहे का?
तर तुम्ही मराठीमध्ये विचारलं, मराठीमध्येच तुमचा आन्सर देतो. पळवाटा शब्द माहिती आहे तुम्हाला? सो देर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स ॲक्च्युली, पण मला असं वाटतं ॲज अ टीचर की there should not be any monitoring on you as a teacher. Suppose any activity if I am conducting as a teacher, it is my duty, it is my responsibility to do that activity correctly and perfectly for my student. This is what I am thinking. Actually, see, there are so many things actually we can do. आम्ही मॉनिटर करू, सगळं करू, तुमच्याकडे टीम पाठवू, but what is the use of that? And instead of that, if you are doing that activity, what I will tell you an example, sir. Suppose in Unnat Maharashtra, that's why I'm telling you to you just go through that GR, and I'm requesting again you to visit that website, IIT Mumbai website, that Sitara particular part. You can see there how many actually activities they have conducted since last 3-4 years, and this is not activity actually they are conducting in the Mumbai area. They are conducting all the activity in Unnat Maharashtra and in the rural areas. And the students are actually participating in that activity. They are designing so many things. There are so many startups from there. There are so many students are going to become an entrepreneur. So many things are there actually. So what I am thinking, our role is, जैसे पाटिल सर ने बताया कि our role is as a motivator. We have to motivate our student. Actually दूसरा क्या कर रहा है वो करके ले रहा है कि नहीं, I am not thinking in that way. मुझे क्या करके लेना है और मैं कैसे करवा के लूँगा और उसका मेरे स्टूडेंट को क्या फ़ायदा होगा, दैट इज़ माई रोल. सो व्हाट एक्चुअली आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग फ्रॉम ऑल ऑफ यू, एंड आई नॉट एक्चुअली आई एम MSBTE is expecting from you. But there are so many things actually in that particular activity. We can go for so many activities. एक एग्जाम्पल आपको देता हूँ. येस्टरडे देर इज़ वर्कशॉप, सेम वर्कशॉप इन द पुणे रीजन एक्चुअली. सो डॉक्टर NG कुलकर्णी सर, who is a principal of Government Polytechnic Pen, सर ने एक किस्सा बताया कल. I am attending actually that lecture online. So sir told that उनका एक कलीग है कि माइक्रो प्रोजेक्ट तो हम लोग सब करते थे, लेकिन वो सर इतने सीरियसली माइक्रो प्रोजेक्ट करवा के लेते थे बच्चों से, एंड देन एट द एंड दे आर हैविंग ए एग्जीबिशन ऑफ दैट माइक्रो प्रोजेक्ट फॉर द फैकल्टीज एंड स्टूडेंट्स. नाउ एक्चुअली वो ऐसा नहीं सोचते थे तब कि यस मुझे क्या करना है, बाकी तो कोई कुछ भी नहीं करवा के ले रहा है, वाई विल गो फॉर दैट वन. तो इनकी हर वक्त की उनकी एक्टिविटी रहती थी. फॉर ऑल द सब्जेक्ट दे आर प्रिपेयरिंग द वेरी गुड टाइप ऑफ द माइक्रो प्रोजेक्ट्स, एंड देन दे आर हैविंग द एग्जीबिशन ऑफ दैट माइक्रो प्रोजेक्ट फॉर स्टूडेंट एज वेल एज फैकल्टी. हो सकता है उसमें से कुछ अच्छा निकल के आया होगा, हो सकता है उसमें से कोई किसी बच्चे ने स्टार्टअप किया होगा. इट मे बी हैपन. देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स एक्चुअली. सो what I will suggest, we'll start from our side. So this is how actually I am working. I don't know, there are so many, that's why I told you that thing, Palwata. Yes, it's good activity, ma'am.
And after that they have did their major project also in the same, under the same guides over there from IIT.
Actually, madam, this is a good thing actually the students are